who you crown me. You crown me.
Welcome back to episode 2 of season 2, Happily Ever After.
Well, guys, now you know that hubby is a bit more relaxed. Episode 2, he's singing and everything. Welcome back, guys. Please remember to
Like, subscribe, comment, follow.
on Instagram. Please follow us, guys, on Instagram.
Subscribe on YouTube
Yes,
and follow on Instagram.
correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Fair.
Old man inside. But yes, guys, so that's how it is. Please remember to like, subscribe, and
Yeah.
comment, and then follow on our Instagram page. We are going to get right into it. This week's topic is
Boundaries.
so season 1. We got into a few topics and whatnot relating to boundaries. We kind of ruffled a few feathers, but I know there's a line that I like that says, if feathers don't ruffle, nothing flies. Anyway, so today we want to talk about boundaries. But not just boundaries in terms of external people, boundaries within our own household, boundaries that we need to set and, teach to the world that work for your marriage, that work for the two of us. So these boundaries can go as far as your children, they can go as far as your friends, your family, your siblings, the whole shebang. The whole boundaries thing is so important in marriage. Once again, let's get the reminder. When we first started, it was 1 year in marriage, but now we're 3 years in.
And obviously we've had our different seasons as well.
Of course.
So we've had our ups, we've had our downs, so we've also understanding what boundaries look like in those different seasons.
Yes.
I think that's going to be me. I'm going to talk about the seasons because, hey, it was a lot. But anyway, we're out, but yeah, that down season that we've had was a good learning curve at the end of the day. And I think for me, there's a lot that we took in from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, boundaries.
I'd like to start by saying what inspired
Okay, what did inspire?
For me, what inspired it. So one of, I follow, my inspirational people, my woman of women, Bumile Dwaba at this point in time. One of my favorite ladies. She truly. Hi, if you're watching, because also it's a,
Okay.
Yeah, because her and her husband have also got a page and all of that. Yes. But I also feel iron sharpens iron, success rubs off success, kind of a situation. And
Yes, I actually remember that episode.
Yes.
You said something about it. What was the line?
It wasn't an episode. So she posted something about boundaries. She said, I think she was having a conversation with a personal trainer or somebody in the gym. And then that person was like, why are you more like easier with your kids when it comes to boundaries than you are with adults and everybody else?
We know how to set boundaries with our kids, but not with adults.
Yes.
Okay, I remember,
her response was because kids are more forgiving.
Ooh. Yo. Yeah, that was deep, eh?
That was deep.
No, that was...
I wanted that one.
You feel it because it's like, dude, this is me. It's nothing to you, but I'm protecting my peace kind of a thing. And do adults get that?
Yes.
And I think that's where now, truthfully, it's a big thing because we see it with friends. Like, I mean, do we mention them?
Mention names.
No, we don't mention names.
No one's name.
No, so like
word.
for example,
I don't even know what you want to talk about.
No, I was gonna say like friends that want to come over, for example, and it's their time. Like we want to come. We're around in the area.
Oh yeah, the last minute kind of vibe.
Yeah, last minutes. You chilling. You've got your plans, and it's like, hey, I'm in your area. I want to come over. do we now open our doors and say, sure, come through, kind of a thing? How do we not navigate around that kind of a
So we're
thing?
going to start with the friends. So my thing on that is definitely like I don't have an issue with a last minute visit. I really don't actually. Hey, you were in the area or whatnot.
No,
but
I
give
do.
me
No,
a gap.
with certain things.
For me
like,
personally.
I've got to say, like, I do. Like, give me time. Okay, fine.
Give me, or I'll be there in 15 minutes. Yeah. Or I'll be there in 30 minutes or whatever it is, kind of a situation.
3 hour notice.
And the thing is, I agree with you, but the thing is, by us setting that boundary, does that like shun us out of visitors? Are people never going to
No, it's cool, but again, that's my boundary. Give me a 2 hour, 3 hour notice because
for many
I'm not.
reasons.
Yeah, because now
for many reasons.
I haven't planned for you. It's again, I'll go back seasons when things are great. Yeah, sure, it's a party, kumnandi, but when you're in different spheres, I might not be feeling in the best of moods to accommodate you. Now you want to enforce yourself into my space.
Hectic.
And I am not in the space. Now I must come and sit and go, yeah, how are you?
Also, the thing about people, again, I'm going to go back to the whole children are more forgiving or children, you know. The thing with people is that someone's going to say, no, I went by your house. I went by Bukosi's house. Your hair, you know what? They didn't even serve me cool drink or whatnot or whatnot. Forgetting, Uguti, you didn't give leeway. And that's the part of the story that you're not going to tell. But I don't want to bring on the negative side of it. But I completely get what you're saying when it comes to boundaries. The thing is, I think also being 3 years into our marriage, we've got a routine that we like to come up with. Sundays are like we wake up, we do brunch, and then I start cooking lunch, and then we'll attend the evening service. That's how we want to do our Sundays when we're both available.
And that's pretty much our only day of availability because I'm doing events during the weekends and during the week I'm busy. There's a whole lot of running around. And again,
of course. So unless we've planned that you're coming over for Sunday lunch, the whole, hey, I'm in your area kind of vibe.
That doesn't work. Cut right now. Like, I'm not a fan. Don't do it. I'm going to shut you down. Like, and that's to all my friends and family, whoever, you know. Hectic. I will shut you down very quick.
Hectic.
No, you got to protect that though.
Okay.
Otherwise, if we don't protect that, then we find ourselves clashing.
Yeah.
So you saying yes to a friend, oh, I don't mind. Yeah. But I do have an issue because it's like, already I've got limited time.
Of course.
You know, with my family. Now I need to share that again with you on those particular days. Unless it was prearranged, like, hey, so-and-so is coming and everything, I don't mind. But if it's one of those things where it's a last minute thing and I'm like really not feeling it, I'm like, nah, dude.
And I like how you've mentioned time, because this is the thing about people who don't get boundaries, or people who they just don't get it. And the second you say boundaries to people, it's almost as if you're saying, oh, do you, or somebody's crossing something, and it's not personal. It's the fact that this is how we choose to spend our time at this point in time.
And it's limited too.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, I like the fact that you said, okay, Shapku, with your time, this is how you want to go about, because like you were saying, with seasons, and in the one episode about intimacy, it comes back to your mindset and all of this. And it's a whole perspective. Guys, there's a lot of things that I think we don't speak about. There's a whole lot of people struggling with depression and anxieties and all of that. And we as human beings aren't asking ourselves, how are you contributing towards that kind of a situation? Because for instance, now with the last minute situation, you're now putting anxiety on me, where if my house wasn't in a great space, now I must put it in a great space, and I wasn't ready. I wanted to chill in my pajamas, kind of a situation. So that's like the boundary there. And I think, that one applies very broad.
It also breaks down things like vulnerability.
Yes.
Again, am I willing to be vulnerable with you with certain things? Because remember, you're coming into my space.
Yeah.
And that space of mine is my vulnerable space.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And am I willing to have you in there for that moment? Because obviously everyone's different. Some people take certain things and they will run with it.
Yeah.
You know, and there's different things. Conversations we'll always have, and we don't have control over people's opinions or thoughts of us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's one of those things where what I can protect, I will protect.
Yeah.
And quality time with my family, kind of a thing, is quite important to me. So I'm not going to allow just anyone to interfere in that. You know, if for me to say yes, and if you like, I'm in the area, you know, it needs to be someone who's like extra, like, yeah, okay, cool, pull through.
I don't think that's like happened with like because we've got our tight friends. Our tight friends, we've got our good friends, we've got our.
But
you
even
know,
then,
our friends.
can I tell you, like, even with the tight friends, right, you can look at it and say, there's still a warning.
Yes,
There's
yes,
still
that's
a
what I'm
heads
saying.
up.
They still give a heads up because
You know,
they
like,
understand that boundary.
Yeah, you know.
That's something,
Kind of a thing. But let's not take away. You said kids are more forgiving when it comes to boundaries,
Yes.
you know, or that was the saying. And that's the truth, because now by me saying no, umuntu will get angry and be like, well, you said no, and hold a grudge against it. And it's, hey, understand. We're all going through our own journeys, you know, and I think a lot of people really need to understand that, like, hey, allow us to focus on us.
Yeah.
Because now it's also one of those things where you could say yes to everybody, like, oh, sure, but when are we getting time?
Speaking of saying yes to everybody, there's a line where Pastor Stephen Furtick speaks about it in one of his sermons, where he says, when you give a yes to the whole world, or by saying yes to every single person, you automatically saying no to the thing that matters. So you saying yes to letting every single person in, no calling, no whatnot, there's no boundary there. You automatically saying no to your immediate household with that time, with homework, with
big.
whatever it is. And those are the things. Hectic.
I mean, look, for boundaries, for example, we've been going through a whole bunch of load shedding in the country.
Yeah.
You know, where someone would ask me, hey, can you come fill up a soccer game, like a spot, play indoor soccer with us on this particular day? And you find that I say yes originally, but then when I look at like the load shedding schedule, it's around the same time where we load shedding, kind of a thing. And it's something as small as that, where I've gotten to a point where I'm like, nah, my family first. Because if I say yes to that, I'm saying no to you guys. Now, what happens?
Load shedding.
No, it's an example. Now, say it's load shedding at 8 o'clock, for example.
Okay.
The lights are out. The gas stove needs my assistance and my.
Do you feel like
What?
we're going to be scared without you?
No, not necessarily be scared, but it's one of those things I want to ensure that, hey, in those moments, things are sharp.
Okay.
You know, like in the back of my mind, like, I'll be there, but I'm still worried here. So it's one of those things for me. I've gotten to a point where I'm like,
you're
nah.
the bear there.
Yeah, well, I do. You know, it's like, hey, are the kids cool? Is everyone sharp? You know what I mean? Kind of a thing.
Oh, that's cute. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, now you do.
I didn't know that. Okay. So now we mentioned boundaries, okay, I think with adults. And then now when it comes to our marriage, boundaries with the kids?
Well, you're the yes man.
Yes.
When it comes to the
kids.
kids,
Yes, man. When
you
it
know?
comes to the kids. I'm like, I will let the kids come in and cuddle in bed with us.
And I'm like, again, intimacy killer, episode 1. Whatever. She'll bring the kids into the bed. And I'm like, bruh, like, come on.
I will let the babies come
It's about to be a vibe, and you just like, now the boys are in there, and it's like, no more shit.
And the thing is, they don't even like, okay, we're not saying we never allow our kids to come into the bedroom or into our bed and chill with us. Yeah. But what we're saying with the boundaries is that I obviously need to set more of a boundary there, because they don't have a timing. The kids don't have a timing.
They like the doors open, it's free.
Yeah.
You know, like.
And dad's face will be like, handle your puppy.
Of course, like, why are these guys here? Nah, man, they got beds. We bought beds for them. Why aren't they sleeping in their bed? We're like, it's cool. Yeah, sharp. When I'm not around, it's cool. Yeah, they can be there. But now I'm here. And again, or go back. Episode 1, intimacy killers.
Yeah.
It goes back to that. But again, you just gotta set that boundary. But I think there's a lot of things where it comes to aligning as well, where like we've seen, especially our eldest,
Yeah.
will always try play. Like
Oh, no, he doesn't.
Yeah, he plays the game. Like he'll say, if he'll ask mom for something,
Yeah.
and she'll be like no, or she'll say yeah, you'll say no, and then comes to me. I usually say no. So, but it will be the other way around, where he comes to me first, and I'm like no, and then you come and go
Yeah.
yes.
And then he won't inform me that he asked you first.
Of course.
But then he does that with our helper as well now.
So
there's
I
all
haven't
three
seen
of
that
us
one.
now.
eh?
Yeah, no,
Okay,
there's
I
like
haven't
all
seen
three of
that
us
one.
now. So it's like that. So the boundaries definitely need to be set there. Yeah. As much as I don't like being the no man, I train myself as hard as possible, obviously, because like guys, point blank, I'm the spoiler. I'm the yes man. I'm like the what do you want? Sure. If it's gonna stop you from crying, please. And you're not harming anyone.
But as time goes, they gotta get used to no's.
Yes.
And that's important, because you're also spoiling them and for the world, because the world's not the best of place. Like, it's not the prettiest and the best of places out there, because we've seen, like, hey, we've gone through the most. We've seen a lot of things. So yes, we want to shelter them to a lot of things. Oh, look at you. Thank you. What was there?
Something. Continue.
There's a lot of things like that happens in the world, and you want to prepare them for certain things. So you don't want to shelter them from everything. And if they're so used to getting their way, what then when you put them out in the world when it's things that it's
I get it.
So some of those no's aren't a no to be like and harsh and stuff,
get it.
but it's also certain things. It's like, hey, there's a time for it.
I get it. Although now we'll talk about getting aligned and being parenting, because I've got a different view to that, because I feel like the world is full of no's and full of negativity that I don't want my home to be part of that. But I completely get you when it comes to the boundaries and setting that it's not a free-for-all kind of a vibe, but I feel like they should find their home to be a safe space. Different conversation.
It is a safe space.
Different conversation.
Okay.
Different conversation. I've actually got a scripture. For boundaries. Yes. Proverbs 25, verse 17.
What does it say?
Oh, I've got so many versions that I would actually.
Okay, break down the ones that
to
like
read.
stand out to you, and then we'll obviously.
Let your foot rarely be in your neighbor's house, or he will become weary of you and hate you.
Let your foot. Read another version.
Okay. Don't visit your neighbors too often, or you will wear out your welcome.
Very true.
Very true.
Like, I mean, I think I have like a 1 day, 2 days, 1 day sleepover rule. And already, even younger, when I was younger, I'd be like, a weekend is enough. And that's when I see myself out, because you find that you overstay your stay. Because now people, it's like,
guys.
the first time, it's like day one, it's cool. You arrive Friday, oh, we missed you. Saturday, cool, still a vibe. Leave while they still miss you. Otherwise,
There's a saying.
What's the saying?
The white people, they say it.
What do they say?
People are like fish. After 2 days, they start smelling. It's plain and simple. It's like that.
I've never heard that one.
It comes with the boundaries. Do you get where I'm coming from? We grow up and people don't understand, like when you set a boundary, but they want you to understand when they set a boundary. It's like, guys, let's just be respectful of each other's boundaries.
You know what it is as well, like when it comes to something like that, where visiting too often and stuff, you try to enforce your way of life into my space. And that's the thing. I think that's the big thing with boundaries, is you're enforcing your ways into my space.
My love.
And that's where I'm like, this is my space. Like, you came to me here. Like, don't enforce your things.
You remember I told you about that cousin of mine?
Which one?
That one that came to Joburg for a job.
Now you're getting too
stayed
details.
over in my place. No, but my thing was that was truly a boundaries thing.
No, I get
Stayed for a month, but by the end of the month, the last day of the month, it was a thing of nah, bruh, you gotta go. Yeah, way before.
Okay.
Way before.
Yeah.
We've never had a cousin stay with us.
Really? Like, I'm not gonna play that game.
No, but you remember that one. So it becomes that thing where you start enforcing unyansil. You're very right.
And that's the biggest thing. I think it's
guys.
and that's where the boundaries thing comes in, because now you doing your thing in my space, and it's like, bruh, this is my sanctuary, and that's all it is with boundaries. When it comes to boundaries, it's protecting where and what I feel at peace with, kind of a thing, as opposed to when I'm out there, I play by the world's rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But in my space, this is my little sanctuary where I
Yeah.
get to center myself, find myself, be at peace, and really be the best version of myself that I can be for when I do go out there. Kind of a thing. And I think that's important. So yeah, boundaries,
Boundaries are.
It's broad.
definitely-
It's broad.
I agree. So many things to talk about it.
Do we have boundaries with each other?
Deep. You threw me off guard there. Listen, I would say yes from my side, because I feel like there's things that are your things. Those are your things, kind of a situation. You don't like it when I go through your phone.
Yeah, well, I don't mind. I mean,
You don't mind. Or
I don't mind
do you get where
now,
I'm
but
coming
like,
from?
yeah.
There are things where they're your things. And also with you, you're very touchy about particular things. Like, you've got OCD. Your wardrobe is your wardrobe. Like, you can smell. You can smell. If a t-shirt has been moved from your t-shirt section, you are like, who was in my wardrobe?
Yeah, it's just,
like
I'm that
that.
organized that I can tell if someone's fiddled.
Yeah, that's what I'm
know?
saying. So I'm just like, but then that's a boundary I need to respect, because it's not a good reaction. You're not like, oh, someone fiddled. You're just like, who fiddled? So I need to respect the fact that you're not happy with the fact that, someone crossed a boundary right there.
All right. And what other boundaries then would you set?
For each other. I feel like,
Especially now, let's obviously, because we're focused on marriage as well, and that's the whole
Yes.
point of this platform, is to say, okay, what are boundaries within our marriage with each other? So yes, we've touched on obviously friends and how that could affect us, or family, or let me say adults rather. We've touched on how children can also affect those boundaries. But with us, where does the boundary line get crossed, and where don't we cross it, kind of a thing?
I think it's your time, my time alone kind of a situation, because I like to do things on my own. Like, I like to unwind with a movie and just like that. And then most of the time you'll be like wanting to chat within that time. So I think within that situation, we need to be cautious of who's doing what's happening. Are we crossing this boundary? It's because you have your time and I have my time. Like I was saying, you've got your wardrobe. And there's those things where we need to get to respect, kind of a situation, especially with the third year in marriage, the seasons, kind of a situation. I think it's a boundary. If I cross a situation and I'm not reading that you're not fine, and I keep on poking and I'm poking and I'm poking, I'm crossing a boundary where you didn't want me to cross. So there's also emotional boundaries. There's also emotional
Yeah,
boundaries.
this thing is actually big. I think we must come back to it
Yeah.
over time.
But catch us on
Because,
Instagram.
time is of the essence.
Yes.
Like, comment, subscribe, and follow
On
on Instagram.
Instagram.
But we're okay, because you can follow on
Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter. Hey, Facebook. Is it?
No, we're not doing Facebook.
But it rocks there, bruh.
We're not doing Facebook.
Twitter. Oh, it's violent there. Okay, fine.
Let's go.
Maybe TikTok.
Oh, guys, it's getting hectic. Baby, say goodbye.
And a phone. I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you. Bye.
I am who you crown me.